And in the last section, you have the width and the length of the drawing area. This is not that important because the model space is in fact infinite, and you do not want to limit that uh, advantage by providing a drawing limit. But you can provide some value here with the drawing limits off so that it does not come into effect. So here we have provided a width of 420 and a length of 297. So it corresponds to what kind of paper? Do you remember? This is A3 paper. And once you have given these values, you can click finish. And this is the familiar AutoCAD interface that we have arrived at. There are the tabs. So you have Home tab, Insert tab, Annotate, View. And you can see that as I click on each of these tabs, the panels under them actually changes. So in View, you have these sort of panels, whereas in Home, you will have the Draw, Modify, Annotation panels, and so on. The panels are made out of commands. So this is the line command, there is the circle command, this is the rectangle command, and there are lots of different commands here. You can also click on this and find out other commands which are part of the draw panel. What about flyouts? This is a flyout. You can see that circle has a small arrow just below it. If you click on that, a flyout opens up, and you can see there are different options of drawing a circle presented here. So this is known as the flyout. Similar here for the arc. This is the arc flyout, and you have so many different options of drawing an arc. However, you notice that the line command does not have such an arrow, so it does not have a flyout. You have flyouts here as well. You can see rectangle and polygon both can be created from there. Another thing that you should remember, and I have already alluded to it, that this can be changed. The orientation or some of the panels can be taken out, some of the tabs can be removed from this ribbon area, or they can be brought back as well. Suppose I click here in this empty part, go to Show Tabs. These are the options of tabs available in AutoCAD 2020. If I click here, you'll see that the Insert tab has disappeared from here. So the tick marks represent which of the tabs are actually present at the moment in the ribbon area. So if I click again, you can see the Insert tab has reappeared over here. Similarly, if you click around here, go to Show Panels, you can see that Draw, Modify, Annotation, these panels are already present in the ribbon area. View is also present there. So if I want to bring in another panel, suppose Utilities panel, I'll just click on it. And you can see that here the Utilities panel has appeared. There it is. If you want to remove it, just click here, it will disappear. Suppose I want to remove the View panel, I'll click here, and that has now disappeared. So this is how you can personalize the ribbon area. I'll bring back the View panel and keep it as it is. So this is the ribbon area, and as I mentioned, it's very important to pay close attention to what are the different tabs and what are the different panels, what are the different commands available under these panels also. For our course, the basic or simple drawing tasks, modification tasks, providing uh, dimensions, these can be done from the home tab itself, because you can see the draw panel, the modify panel, the annotation panel, they are all present here. So that home tab is very, very important in the present course context. We have the command prompt right here. I'll explain the utility of the or advantage of the command prompt through a command. Suppose I want to draw a line. I'm not going into specifics of this right now. We'll cover it in the next class. But if you want to draw a line, just click on this command or button and look at the command prompt. It is instructing you to specify the first point. We can specify the first point by just clicking anywhere in this drawing window. So I've clicked here, and you can see that the first point is now fixed. It is now looking for the second point to create the line. And as I move the cursor, the preview of the line also moves with it. Read the command prompt, specify next point. So click here again. And it is not over yet. It will continuously ask you for the next point and the next point and the next point sequentially. So you can go on doing this, creating a sort of series of different types of lines. Now, how do we go out of this command? How do we end this command? Press enter or press escape. So if I press enter, you can see that now the command is completed. It has gone out of the command. Similarly, if I want to create a circle, just click here.
এন্টার বাদে স্যার কি বলেন, মানে এন্টার ছাড়াও আরেকটা কি বললেন যেন?
Escape. You can press escape button on the keyboard. Okay. If you want to create a circle, click here, or you can select the center radius option from the flyout. The command prompt says or instructs you to specify the center point of the circle. You can do it anywhere around here. I have clicked, and you can see the preview of the circle has appeared. What is to be done next? Specify radius of circle. Maybe I have given 50 here, and you can see circle of radius 50 has been created. This is just a preview of the things to come. We will discuss these different commands in a lot more detail in the coming classes. But I wanted to show you how you can utilize the command prompt to have a better feeling towards your drawing. You have a sense of what to do next. Any questions? Okay. At the beginning, I mentioned that you may not have that startup dialog box. And that is controlled by a system variable known as startup. The variable name is startup. Depending on what value is provided to it, there are different ways in which the AutoCAD can start. This application can start. It is quite possible that you may arrive at this page, this interface. where you have 3 different sections: get started, recent documents, and this notification section. From here also you can open a new drawing. What you need to do is go here to the start drawing, go to templates, and select a no template metric option. And this drawing file opens up. You can see previously we were working in drawing 1. Now you have drawing 2. One more thing is, once you have opened a drawing, it is essential to save it. So you can save it from here. Go to the application button, you can press save or save as. The AutoCAD files are saved as .dwg files. .dwg files. These are the drawing files, AutoCAD drawing files. My suggestion would be create a folder, maybe class wise. You can save your work in that folder. And if you want to do practice on AutoCAD, you can do that as well. Save option is also available in the quick access tool. So as I said, you may arrive at this window as well. But why does it happen? It happens because of the different numerical values in the startup variable. So go to this startup in the command prompt, and press enter. You can see that it prompts you to enter new value for startup. The existing value is 1. So if the value of the startup variable is 1, then you will have the startup dialog box. It will be shown first. And I would suggest that as you are beginners or newcomers to this particular software, at the beginning, try to go through the startup dialog box. So you write startup and put a value of 1 here. For demonstration purpose, I'll just put a value of 0 here and press enter. I'll now close this. Don't want to save it. Okay. So you can see that I have directly arrived at the AutoCAD interface without the intervention from the startup dialog box. And you can also see that there are certain grid marks that are created here. Grids can be turned on or off from the status bar. Here in the status bar, you have the grid on off button. If you press this, the grid would disappear. But as I said, for now, give this startup value as 1 so that you get the startup dialog box at the beginning. So if it is given as some other value, please change it and put it as 1. Press enter. I'll close it again. Here is the startup dialog box. You can also go for a quick setup. In this quick setup, you will only be asked to select the unit and the area. All the other options are taken as default. Press OK.
Sir, এরিয়াটা কি আমাদের ওই A3 পেপারেরই দিতে হবে?
It doesn't matter actually at this point, because we are keeping the drawing limit as off. We are not providing any drawing limits here. So this model space, this white bit, rectangular bit here, that is actually an infinite space. If you put a drawing limit on, then that space would be limited. As we are not putting in any drawing limits, let us keep it as infinite. So whatever the given dimension that comes over there, 420 into 297, just keep it as it is.
তাহলে মানে ওইটা কিসের ডাইমেনশন দিচ্ছে যদি আমরা কোনো লিমিট মানে নেই ওটা?
লিমিট আছে, কিন্তু সেটা তুমি অফ করে রেখেছো। ওকে, so
Okay.
if you put a drawing limit, if you put the drawing limit as on, then you will be limited to that amount of area. You cannot draw anything outside of that. That creates a sort of few issues, few problems, and that is why we, at this moment, we want to keep it as off. You do not want to think about it. The default option is drawing limit is taken as off. So don't change anything. Whatever it comes, you accept it and finish the startup dialog box, and you will arrive at this window, this interface. Okay.
ওকে স্যার।
Few more things that you need to check before you begin the drawing. One is units. Enter here, and you will see that whatever you have selected in the startup dialog box, so decimal degrees, the precisions, so all of them will appear here. Another important parameter here is the unit. It is selected as millimeters. So always check that this is as millimeters. Sometimes by mistake you may have selected the imperial unit. So if you have a look at this units page, drawing units window, you will get an idea if you have selected the right option or not. Press OK, that will disappear. One more thing that I wanted to show you is the options. Write options in the command prompt, and the options window will open. You have so many tabs here with files, display, and open and save, plot, system, user preferences, and so on. In the display panel, go to colors, change the background color to black, and this is what happens. So how do we change the background color? Right, options, go to display tab, go to colors, change it to white. White I have given as a personal preference. You can keep other colors as well, but I have seen that white or black, these two work best. So try to keep it between these two. So it has changed back to white again. You can go to user preferences and check the units from here as well. You can see that both are millimeters here. Other tabs are also present, but right now I don't think you need to concern yourselves with these different options. Could be quite overwhelming to you. Just look for the units, or if you want to change the background color, you can do it from here. Go to apply. So this is a basic introduction to the AutoCAD interface. There are obviously other parts of this interface that we have not discussed yet, such as the status bar, which needs a little bit more time, and you need to get a little bit more acquainted with the AutoCAD interface before we can start on those advanced topics. So I think that would be all for the present class. If you have any questions, please ask. If not, we'll just close the class here, and we'll continue our discussions in the next class.
Hello, sir.
হ্যাঁ বলো।
স্যার ডিসপ্লে রেজোলিউশনটা কি কোনো ম্যাটার করবে স্যার?
কোনটা?
ডিসপ্লে রেজোলিউশনটা,
The window, warning window that comes at the beginning. I don't think so.
না
Just
মানে স্যার সিস্টেম রিকোয়ারমেন্টে দেখলাম যে মানে একটা রেজলিউশন দেওয়া আছে, তো ওটা কি মানে না
it
থাকলে
doesn't matter.
প্রবলেম হবে?
I don't think
আচ্ছা,
it will.
আমারটাও স্যার কমই আছে, অনেক কম আছে, কিন্তু চলে যাচ্ছে, মানে ঠিকঠাকই চলে।
See, it will run. It will not hamper the running of the software. Okay. They have provided a recommended resolution, but I don't think it's mandatory to run the software. There won't be any
আমার তো
problem.
সেরকম কোনো আসে না তো।
Maybe you have the required resolution. That's why it is not coming. Maybe possible, but software is running.
ইয়েস স্যার।
Okay, then no need to think about it. Any other questions?
স্যার
Yes, go ahead.
স্যার আপনি ওই রেকর্ডিংস গুলো ইউটিউবে আপলোড করবেন নাকি গুগল ক্লাসরুমে দিয়ে দেবেন?
I think Google Classroom is the better option. ইউটিউবে দিলে যেটা হয়, আগে আমি ইউটিউবে দিয়েছি অন্যান্য ক্লাসের ক্ষেত্রে, কিছু কিছু স্টুডেন্টদের ক্ষেত্রে অ্যাক্সেস রেস্ট্রিক্টেড হয়ে যায়, they cannot access it due to some problem or the other. That used to happen quite a lot, so I have stopped putting it on the YouTube. I will upload it in the Google Classroom. Please follow the lectures over there. Okay.
ওকে স্যার।
স্যার একটা কোশ্চেন করবো, মানে
Sure.
মানে
Go ahead.
ক্যাট রিলেটেড নয়, যে মানে আপনার ম্যাটল্যাব রয়েছে দেখলাম, সে মানে ওইটা মানে অরিজিনাল নয় তো নাকি? মানে এমনি তো স্যার মানে ডাউনলোড করা যায় না মনে হয়।
MATLAB তুমি ডাউনলোড করতে পারো।
ম্যাটল্যাবটা কি স্যার ড্রাফটিং সফটওয়্যার? মানে ওটা তো একটা
No,
না,
it's not a drafting software.